Okay, so you know how much we love digging into stuff that can, like, actually make your life easier?
Yeah, getting right to the point. I like it.
Well, get this. Today, it's all about conquering the, let's be honest, sometimes soul-crushing quest for a new job.
Oh, man. Tell me about it.
Right. But before you start spiraling into a pit of despair, we found something that might just be the ultimate job seeker's secret weapon.
Hit me with it.
It's called RoleCatcher, and from what you sent over, it seems like it does, well, pretty much everything.
It's true. It really does cover a lot of ground. I think what's cool about it is that it's like not just another job board.
Oh, definitely. We're way past just scrolling through endless listings.
Right. This is more like they're giving you this whole toolkit to manage every single part of the process, from like organizing your applications to actually prepping for interviews.
See, that's what caught my eye too. I mean, I am the queen of spreadsheets when I'm applying for things.
Oh, I feel that.
But even I'm like, there's gotta to be a better way.
And there is. That's where RoleCatcher comes in. Instead of those soul-crushing spreadsheets, they've got this, get this, Kanban board thing.
Okay, Kanban board, that sounds kind of like maybe a little too techy for me.
No, trust me. It's way less scary than it sounds.
Yeah.
It's basically like a picture of virtual whiteboard, right?
Okay, I'm with you.
And it's got these columns for like all the stages of applying, like applied, interviewing, offer stage, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'm starting to see it.
Yeah. And then you can create these little cards for each job. And as you move through the process, you literally drag and drop them across the board.
So instead of like 17 different tabs open, you've got everything right there in front of you.
Precisely. It's all about visual organization, which I know is like your love language.
Oh, 100%. And speaking of making things easier, can we talk about their RoleCatcher.capture plugin? That thing seems like it was sent from the job hunting gods.
Oh, tell me you haven't experienced the magic of one-click job saving yet.
It's like they knew my pain. No more copying and pasting descriptions into my spreadsheet of doom.
It's a beautiful thing. And speaking of beautiful things, how about we talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the algorithm in the computer?
Oh boy, you mean the applicant tracking systems?
The one and only.
Oh.
Those things can be straight up terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you even know if a human is ever going to actually lay eyes on your masterpiece of a CV?
That's what keeps me up at night.
But here's the thing, and this is where RoleCatcher gets really interesting. It doesn't just help you manage those applications. It helps you understand how to get them seen by those ATS bots.
So it's like giving you the cheat codes to beat the system.
Kind of. It analyzes the job descriptions, pulls out the skills they're looking for, and then tells you which version of your CV scores highest.
Hey, hold on. So it's basically like having a personal recruiter who's like whispering in your ear, okay, use this version of your CV for this job.
Exactly. It's all about optimization, baby. No more second-guessing yourself, no more wondering if you're using the right keywords. It's like having a secret weapon in the war for your dream job.
Okay, I am sold on this part. But what about the part of job hunting that makes me want to crawl under my desk and hide?
Let me guess. We're talking about the N-word.
The dreaded networking.
It's enough to make even the most extroverted person break out in a cold sweat.
Right. But here's the thing, RoleCatcher seems to have thought of that too.
Oh, they definitely have a different take on it. Instead of just throwing you to the wolves, their whole network feature is about being way more intentional.
Okay, so instead of just like randomly messaging people on LinkedIn, I'm actually thinking about who I know and how they can actually, help.
Exactly. It's about connecting your network to your job application so you're not just reaching out cold.
Oh, that's smart, because it's always awkward trying to remember where you met someone.
Right. And then it helps you keep track of all your interactions, so it's not just like a one-and-done kind of thing. Did you follow up with that person? What did you talk about? It's all about building those relationships authentically, which I think is really refreshing.
Because no one wants to feel like they're just being used for their connections, right?
Exactly. It's about leveraging those connections in a way that's mutually beneficial.
Love it. Okay, so we've tackled organization, applications, and the dreaded networking beast. But there's one more hurdle that even the most qualified candidates dread: the interview.
Okay, time for the main event. And let me tell you, RoleCatcher does not disappoint in this department.
Oh, really? Don't leave me hanging. Spill the tea.
So picture this. You've got access to a library of, are you ready for this? Over 120,000 practice interview questions.
120,000. That's like more questions than I've asked in my entire life.
And here's the best part. They're not just random generic questions either. They're tailored to specific careers and skill sets, so you're practicing with the exact kind of questions you're most likely to encounter.
So it's like having a crystal ball that shows you the future of your interview?
In a way, yes. But it gets even better. Their interviews feature also lets you record your practice sessions, so you can actually see and hear yourself answering these questions.
Okay, hold on. As much as I love hearing my own voice, watching myself answer interview questions sounds like my worst nightmare.
I know, right? But it's honestly so helpful. You can see those nerve tics, hear those ums and likes, and then you can actually work on improving them.
Because it's not just about what you say, it's how you say it, right?
Exactly. And this is where things get really next level. Remember we talked about RoleCatcher's premium version, Copilot AI?
The one that's supposed to be like having a personal career coach?
That's the one. With Copilot AI, you're not just recording yourself for fun. The AI actually analyzes your videos and gives you feedback based on your tone of voice, your body language, even your facial expressions.
No way. It's like having a personal stylist for your interview skills.
Right, it's picking up on all those subtle cues that we might not even realize we're giving off.
So it's like giving you that extra edge, those little tweaks that can make all the difference.
Precisely. And because RoleCatcher is already plugged into all your job applications, the AI has all this extra data to work with, making it even more personalized and effective.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. That's impressive. But before we get too carried away with all this talk about AI, I have to ask, what makes RoleCatcher's AI different from, like, ChatGPT? Everyone's obsessed with ChatGPT these days.
That's a great question, and honestly, they both have their place. But while ChatGPT can be helpful for brainstorming interview answers, RoleCatcher's Copilot AI is specifically designed for the job search.
So it's like it speaks the language of recruiters.
Exactly. It understands those nuances that a more general AI tool might miss. Plus, because it's integrated with all your other job search activities, it has a much more holistic view of your profile and your goals.
It's like the difference between having a general practitioner and a specialist, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that laser focus.
100%. And when it comes to something as important as your career, I think that laser focus is crucial.
Okay, so we've talked about staying organized, beating those pesky ATS bots, even mastering the art of networking, all thanks to RoleCatcher.
It's like having a whole team of career coaches in your back pocket.
Seriously. But even with all the best tools, there's one question that always seems to trip people up.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Hit me.
It's the, am I getting paid what I'm worth? Question.
Bingo. And it's not just about salary, it's about knowing, like, where you stand in the job market. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what's my magic number? What should I be aiming for? It's tough to figure out.
Well, get this. RoleCatcher has a feature called Career Compass. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, another salary calculator. But it's so much more than that.
Right. It's not just plugging in your job title and hoping for the best. This thing actually takes into account all the things that make you you.
Okay, break it down for me.
So think about it.
Yeah.
Your specific skills, your industry, how many years of experience you have, even your career goals, career compass, factors all of that in to give you a realistic view of what you should be making.
So it's like having a personal career counselor who's also a master negotiator.
Exactly. It gives you that confidence to go into salary negotiations knowing, okay, I have the data to back this up.
That is huge GE, especially for people like me who are like terrified of that whole negotiation dance.
Oh, tell me about it. It's the worst. But having that data in your back pocket, it takes away some of the emotion from it.
It's like, don't even try to lowball me. I know what I'm worth.
Exactly. And speaking of knowing what you're worth, can we talk about the sheer size of RoleCatcher's employer database? I mean, over 9 million employers worldwide.
I know, right? It's mind-blowing. I almost felt overwhelmed when I first saw it. Like, where do I even begin?
Right. But here's the thing. They've got these amazing filters, so you're not just faced with this massive list. You can narrow it down by industry, location, company size, even company culture.
Wait, company culture. So I can see if a company is like all about work-life balance or if they're going to expect me to be chained to my desk 24/7.
Exactly. It's about being intentional with your job search, finding a company that aligns with your values, not just taking any job that comes along.
Because, let's be honest, sometimes even the perfect job description can be hiding a not-so-perfect company culture.
Oh, 100%. And who wants to end up in a job they hate, even if it pays well?
Not me. Okay, so we found the perfect company culture. The job description sounds amazing, but then there's that nagging feeling of, do I actually have the skills they're looking for?
Okay, so you need to check out RoleCatcher's skills gap analysis.
Okay, skills gap sounds kind of scary. Like, is it going to tell me I'm not good at anything?
No, not at all. It's actually the opposite. It's like having this personalized career coach is like, okay, here's where you're killing it, and here are a few areas where you could maybe brush up your skills.
So instead of just throwing darts in the dark, hoping I'm taking the right courses or whatever, it's giving me a clear roadmap.
Exactly. It analyzes your desired career path, compares it to your current skill set, and then highlights those gaps so you know exactly what to focus on.
That's so smart. It's like taking all the guesswork out of professional development.
Right. It's about being proactive, about investing in yourself and your future. And I think that's something that's becoming even more important these days.
Because the job market is changing so fast, you can't just rest on your laurels, you know? You have to be constantly learning and growing.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just find a job anymore. It's about building a sustainable career,
And that means being really honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses.
which is not always easy, let's be real.
No, definitely not. Okay, so we've talked about all these amazing features, but I have to ask, with all this AI and automation, does it ever start to feel like, I don't know, like the human element is getting lost in the job search?
That's a really interesting question. And honestly, it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately.
Because at the end of the day, you're still dealing with people, right?
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance between leveraging technology and staying true to yourself.
So it's like RoleCatcher is giving you the tools, but you're still the one steering the ship.
Precisely. It's about using those insights to make informed decisions, but not letting the platform dictate your every move.
It's like having a co-pilot, not an autopilot.
Exactly. And I think that's a really important distinction to make.
So RoleCatcher seems to have like every aspect of the job search covered, but there's one piece of the puzzle that still makes me want to run and hide.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dreaded CV, am I right?
It's the bane of every job seeker's existence.
Yeah.
Like, how do you sum up your entire professional life on a couple of pages?
And make it sound impressive but not braggy, and use the right keywords but not sound like a robot.
And don't even get me started on formatting. One wrong move and your application is doomed.
Oh, tell me about it. I swear some of those applicant tracking systems are like judging my font choices.
Seriously. But this, my friend, is another area where RoleCatcher shines. They've got this CV resume builder that's like a lifesaver.
Okay, so it's going to help me write a CV that doesn't make recruiters' eyes bleed.
Exactly. It's got templates, formatting, tips, the whole shebang.
So no more spending hours agonizing over margins and font sizes.
You got it. But it's more than just making things look pretty, although that's important too.
Okay, so what's the secret sauce?
Remember how we talked about RoleCatcher analyzing those job descriptions, pulling out those must-have skills?
Right, like having a secret decoder ring for job postings?
Well, the CV resume builder takes those insights and actually suggests ways to incorporate them into your CV.
So it's like, here are the keywords, here's how to use them, go forth and conquer.
Exactly. It's all about making sure your CV is speaking the same language as the hiring manager, both human and AI.
That is so smart. I've literally spent hours trying to figure out how to, like, translate my experience into the language of a job description.
Oh, I feel that. It's the worst. But with RoleCatcher, it's like having a professional writer on your team guiding you every step of the way.
Okay, I am sold on this. But I have to ask, with all this talk about AI and optimization, does it ever start to feel like my CV is becoming, too generic?
I totally get that. No one wants to sound like a robot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want my personality to shine through.
And it should. Remember, these are just tools. The AI can give you suggestions, but ultimately it's your story to tell.
So it's about finding that balance between being strategic and being authentic.
Exactly. You want your CV to be both impressive and genuine.
It's like having a really good editor, someone who can help you polish your story without losing your voice.
Precisely. And that, I think, is what makes RoleCatcher so powerful. It gives you the tools to put your best foot forward, but it doesn't take away your agency.
It's about empowering job seekers, not replacing them.
100%. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
I love that. Well, dear listener, it seems we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of RoleCatcher. We've covered a lot of ground today, but hopefully you've walked away with some valuable insights.
It's all about using technology to your advantage, right?
Yeah.
Not letting it intimidate you.
Exactly. And when it comes to something as important as your career, I think it's worth exploring every tool and resource that can help you succeed.
Couldn't agree more. So go forth, job seekers, and conquer.
We'll be back next time with another deep dive into a topic that's shaping the future. Until then, happy job hunting.